Okay, so I'm gonna be honest here. I want to start making brand new content, and I want a different production value, different production style, method. The more I've been working on these marketing advertising videos for Be Pro, the more I've been making educational content any way, shape, or form in respecting in correlation to the business that I work with. I realize there's a different video style that I like forming my visions in the more I start seeing different patterns in what I really enjoy creating. This is where types of videos like this is gonna come into play. This video is gonna be all about the brand new talk show that I'm going to be creating in correspondence to Be Pro, but kind of marketing and advertising myself as an individual, where it still eventually will fall back on and with the company in some way, shape, or form. Because yes, Be Pro's the company. Yes, like Paul started up the company. Yes, I am the marketing manager for the company, but we are still us. The company just exists as the company. Anyone can create it, but Paul has his own separate identity, if you will, that corresponds and translates back to Be Pro. And then I want to start creating a brand even more so, I guess heightening the brand that I already have that leans a little bit stronger into who I am, what I actually do professionally. And I want to translate that back into what this actually does in correlation to the business that we work with. This talk show that I'm creating, it is called The Brand Identity, and it is something I wanted to kind of create more along the lines of the fact that this is actually what I went to school for. I made a lot of social posts about this on LinkedIn, on Facebook. My whole background is based upon high-end advertising, marketing, international business, small business startups. It's more along the lines of technological entrepreneurship and management. Like, it just expands from there. But that's more of just like the business side of me, which is fantastic. But I come from a place where I love technology. I love video. I love audio. I love being able to teach, coach, and mentor people. I love content creation. I love just the artistic value of everything that I do. And I want to be the artistic value for other people who may either A, start up their own businesses, B, they already have one and want to expand on there. Maybe it's someone who just wants to get into the field of content creation and eventually grow from there. Maybe eventually have your own marketplace where you start selling things. You know, it could be anything as far as even like a hobby, or at least start it up as a hobby, but you want to take to the new level and the next level. But there's only one problem. How do I brand myself? And how do I get the message out there more about the things that I do? But not only that, it's also more about who are my target audiences? Who are my customers, if anything, depending on the road that you're going down. Like, how do we identify these things, and how do I create my brand? Or if I already have one, how do I expand on that? And we can look at this in multiple different formats. Let's look at as path number one. Let's just say where I come from, the world of content creation. If you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to be on social media platforms, if you want to be that person who is either A, creating content strictly, or B, you're live streaming, in which case, you know, you're still going to have to create content on other platforms to promote yourself, because welcome to today's reality. That's just how advertising and marketing falls, regardless if you like it or not. But as far as content creation goes, you know, let's say you're just getting started. Let's say you don't really know where to really begin, but you know this is where your heart lies. So we can have a face-to-face conversation, real time. I'll be hosting the show, but you as the guest who can raise their hand in the middle of the show and be like, I got some ideas I want to explore with you. Like, I just need to get my foot in the door. How can I get my foot in the door? How do I market myself? How do I get my name out there? This is perfect because that's all part of the branding. You as an individual, just by default, are going to be the face of everything. You are the reason why people want to buy the services you may have to provide or the products. Even if you're not selling anything, you are the reason why people are watching that specific piece of content, regardless if it's videos on YouTube or if you're live streaming on Twitch or even if you're live streaming on YouTube or various other platforms like I will be for this talk show getting started, which will be on YouNow, which if you want all that information, obviously you can find everything below in the description. I want to be able to have these conversations with you guys. And I want to be the person to help you figure out A, where you should start off. B, let's develop your brand a little bit more into figuring out what your brand is going to be. Because I'm going to leave this very vague, just specifically for this video, because the rest of this is going more into the live conversations when we're live streaming the show. But you are the brand. You by default. That beautiful face behind this webcam that I can't see. You're the reason and have to be the reason behind why all this is going to end up becoming successful. And it's going to be a lot of work, don't get me wrong. There's a ridiculous amount of work that goes into this, and what is going to happen on this show is just going to be a very, very blanket term, if you will. We are going to explore your wants and your needs, your passions, what drives you, and then a couple of other steps in there. But the last one I'm going to mention is, what are you expecting? What are you expecting your outcome to be? What are you expecting to put forth into this line of work that you wish to create and get your name out there? How hard are you going to work for it? But then also, how hard are you willing to fail for it as well? That's going to be an interesting topic to discuss during the live streams. Depending on how everything goes, I may make a YouTube series out of this. And or, depending on how you guys respond to stuff like this, if you think I should make this into an actual YouTube series, let me know. I want to create a talk show where it is going to be strictly about you and coming onto the show, and we're just discussing very casually. We're going to have a lot of fun with this on what you would like to do and how do we get your foot in the door. And we're going to discuss all the different steps we need to go down to in order to make you successful in your own way. I can't define success for you. I just can't. There's something about this talk show that means something a lot more to me than any of the other previous work I have done recently. And not that the previous work I have done didn't mean anything to me. Everything I do, I love, regardless of how cringy it might have been in the past compared to the things I do now. Hell, it could still be cringy and like, I just don't care anymore, maybe. I want to have fun with this. I want to be able to understand who you are. I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from and who I am. I want to build relationships. I want to be able to build understanding, trust, and all that falls back down onto the fact that we need all these things in order for us to help each other as human beings in general, but in this case, obviously me doing my best to aid you and to guide you and to maybe coach or mentor you in some way, shape, or form into being this person that you've always dreamed of being. I believe very strongly that I can do this. And I am going to be very open and honest about this, is that it is going to be strictly a test run. There's going to be 6 live streams that are going to happen on YouNow. And if they succeed and they do really, really well, then I have a path that I've organized on what I would like to do and how to proceed if that happens. If it fails, it just simply fails. And I just say, hey, you know, I gave it a go. Maybe the live streaming just wasn't an option. Maybe it's supposed to be more for a YouTube series. I don't know. But I think where this may flourish is just the live interaction. Bringing all this back together, I hope this works out really well. I hope you guys are going to be really excited about this. I hope you guys find this interesting. I hope you guys like the concept of what I'm attempting to do. And I hope this goes over really well. I just want to be there to help you guys to become more successful and to build what you want to create. Thank you guys so much for all your continuous support. Love as always. I will post up all the information about the live streams down below in the description. And then you know what? Boom, here's the flyer again. And that's all the information that you need. I'm really excited about this. I hope you are just as much as I am. But until then, I'll see you later.